Face front, true believers! The new Marvel's Avengers game from Square Enix is finally upon us. And with so many characters from its expansive universe, we've picked out some unique characters whom we'd love to see join the game's cast, or whom we'd like to just make a quick cameo.
Oh, this isn't Gilbert's. I am so sorry. I thought this was an anal bleaching party.
I'm Kat, and welcome to Daily Gram. Today we're listing our picks for the top 10 characters we'd love to see in the Avengers game. We'll be looking at amazing heroes, villains, and everything in between that would make the Avengers game better than it already is. Now before we get to our list, here's a spoiler alert. We'll be mentioning information about the characters based on what happens to them in the comic books. Don't worry though, we'll try our best not to ruin it for you. Also, make sure to watch until the end of this video, because our number one pick will definitely urge you to sign a petition to have him added to the game. So get your suits and capes on, and let's get started. Number 10, Doctor Strange. You can't go wrong with the Sorcerer Supreme himself. Imagine trapping enemies in the mirror dimension, arriving in the nick of time to open mysterious portals for your team during multiplayer battles, and using magical chains to stun your enemies while your trusty team backs you up. With Doctor Strange, even time travel, one of the most complicated abilities to deal with, isn't off the table. Now that makes for some interesting gameplay, enough to bargain for. Number 9, the Punisher. If there's one thing we like to do in video games, it's play a badass. And in Marvel, no one else has seen more action, explosions, and blood than Frank Castle, more popularly known as the Punisher. He would make a bold choice for the game because of its playable backstory segments as well. You'd get to play through the events which caused him to become his gritty vigilante of an alter ego, and we likewise think it's time for Marvel to bring in some of its darker characters for mature fans of the franchise to appreciate. Number 8, Deadpool.
Oh, hello. I know, right?
It's everyone's favorite merc with a mouth. Deadpool may be another gunslinger, but what you'll want from this character is everything else he brings to the table. From wisecracking, fourth-wall-breaking commentary that may in turn reveal comic book Easter eggs, to his general deadpan-type humor.
My name is Deadpool, and I'm an X-Man.
Trainee!
Shut it!
There aren't a lot of people who can say that they don't want the abundantly entertaining Wade Wilson on their team.
Someone's not counting. 6.
Having him in the game would also be a nice nod to Psycho Mantis, a boss from the Metal Gear series who uses this exact character quirk by speaking directly to the audience. Number 7, Ghost Rider. In Marvel's Avengers, players will have to master different types of terrain to complete levels. So instead of flying, why not breeze through on your very own demon bike that leaves a trail of fire in its wake? With the Ghost Rider, all closeted pyromaniacs will probably have the time of their lives. From boxing you in with his flaming whips, to the terrifying sight of having his own head on fire, his character will make for some hot gameplay. The game's developers may even introduce a feature which will allow players to use vehicles scattered across the map. And fans may likewise enjoy hearing a familiar voice bring this character to life. Number 6, Adam Warlock. The game's developers could show off their creativity by including a playable, overpowered character like Adam Warlock. They could even take a page out of One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, where innovative gameplay was utilized on main character Saitama, despite him being able to destroy everything with one punch. Known to fans as one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, Adam Warlock was created by a team of scientists known as the Beehive Collective, who wanted to make a creature that represented the pinnacle of mankind. Imagine Superman with the powers of Doctor Strange. Adam Warlock would be the ideal character to use for those times you just want to easily finish levels before heading off to work or going to bed. Number 5, Venom. How about this? You experience playing as the Venom symbiote and infecting enemies to use them against their will. This in itself would add an entirely different level of gameplay and encourage people to think outside the box when dealing with multiple enemies. Playing as Venom would also create more depth to the stories, connecting the characters. Venom, for instance, has infected many heroes throughout the comics, such as Deadpool, Wolverine, and even Doctor Strange, to name a few. Number 4, Elektra. Who says that women can't get it done? You certainly don't want to get on the bad side of Elektra, the double sai-wielding assassin who isn't scared to poke a few holes through her enemies. Elektra was raised in the arts of ninjutsu, aikido, and karate. She also utilizes a form of low-level telepathy that enables her to temporarily control the minds of her opponents. Gameplay-wise, Elektra would be a good addition to the game, seeing how well they made Black Widow. She's also a very balanced character, as she has both practical and superhuman abilities. Number 3. Moon Knight. If you're an avid fan of the game Batman Arkham Asylum, or just a fan of Batman himself, you might have heard of his Marvel counterpart Moon Knight. So a bit of backstory on this one. Mark Spector was once a boxer, CIA agent, and mercenary who found himself dying in an archaeological dig site when he was visited by the Egyptian god of the moon, Khonshu. He then became said deity's earthly avatar, which allowed him to amass a vast fortune, and this led to him masquerading as an underground crime fighter. With Moon Knight, players will be forced to think ahead and of how to deal with incoming enemies, all while using a variety of handy weapons such as a crescent bow and spiked gauntlets. Number 2. The Silver Surfer. You remember the Silver Surfer, right? Yeah, that guy. The Silver Surfer is the herald of the godly being known as Galactus, as he's responsible for choosing which planets Galactus can eat. Gameplay-wise, he would easily be an overpowered character if the developers gave him access to his comic book powers, which are super strength, the ability to travel faster than light, and more importantly, the power to absorb and discharge a portion of the universe's energy. This character can also be a means to introduce new fans to Marvel's cosmic beings, such as the Living Tribunal, Eternity, Death, and even the one above all. Number 1. The Sentry. The Sentry is one of Marvel's takes on Superman, but they added an interesting twist. He has major psychological issues, having killed his wife. Because of this, he is prone to lashing out at both friends and foes alike. What would make him a great addition, though, is the possibility of a campaign where you go up against the game's full set of heroes. This could replicate the success of DC title Injustice: Gods Among Us, in which the game's roster of heroes alternatively battle against Superman, who was tricked into killing Lois Lane. Those were the top 10 characters we'd love to see in the Avengers game. Do you agree with our picks? Was your favorite mentioned on our list? Sound off in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content from Daily Graham.